Hi, Julie Murphy here, and I want to talk about what's coming financially. And does it matter? Maybe, maybe not. Don't forget to hit that subscribe, like, and notification bell. Why? Because I'm here to help you get to a life that you absolutely love and living life on your terms, because I help clients get to a place of living with real wealth. I often talk about the fact that there's the things that are outside of ourselves and then the things that are inside of ourselves. And if you are building your wealth from the inside out, which is actually the subtitle of my first book, The Emotion Behind Money, it's about the fact that you need to bring your authentic self to the table. And you need to set your money up in ways that actually are in alignment with who you are. When you are really worried about what is to come financially, economically, inflation-wise, that tells me 100% that your money is not set up in alignment with your authentic self because you are not feeling grounded in that process. I see this time and time again as a financial planner. And what I'm going to challenge each of you to do is what to expect financially. So this is my personal opinion, my personal viewpoint from the work I do day in and day out, that we've got inflation on our hands. We've got raising interest rates. We have inflation that's terrible on costs of gas and food. And, there's also, I know my kids' school tuition has gone way up. Wages are going up. And people think that wage growth is great. Well, yeah, but what does that do in a 10-year window in terms of slowing growth for the economy? Right? All things that I could get my left brain jammed up about. But if you haven't created enough financial space for yourself to weather through these expansion and contraction periods, because that's really all that they are, if we could actually allow ourselves to not have our nervous systems actually hijacked financially and just be the observer of what's actually going on economically, like whether it's, well, what about the war and what about this and what about that and what's all going on, observe it. But if your personal financials were set up in such a way that you were insulated from those things occurring, and how do you insulate yourself? Well, you're proactive in terms of don't let somebody else control your life or a company control your life like a bank, right? Many of us will take 401k loans out because we're like, oh, I just had to have that. In hindsight, would you rather have the money or would you rather have the debt? I don't know anyone that loves having debt, because why are we then so happy when we pay all that debt off, right? So create some space by coming up with a game plan to reduce your debt levels. Make decisions today to create space in your cash flows, and maybe some of that insulation you're creating, like if you find some expenses you don't want to have anymore, well then proactively take that money and stick it into a savings account so you're starting to build up some of that insulation. And don't touch it for spending reasons. Make decisions based on cash in hand. That is one of the greatest pieces of advice I can give to almost everyone. People go, well, but I couldn't. Oh, well, but you can, right? We think we can't, but you can. It's interesting the things that I hear from people when they say, well, I just had to use my credit cards. Well, you just didn't have to. You chose to. If you have to, that means you're a victim to the system. If you choose to, well, then you're staying in your empowerment, right? And all of these things create insulation for yourself when you have financial, economic, challenging times that we are perceived to have right now. And whether it winds up challenging and more challenging or not, well, only the future is going to tell us that, but not one of us knows exactly what that is. So this is about positioning yourself to be lucky, that no matter what is going on economically around you, I want you to build your wealth from the inside out. Join me at juliemurphy.com, because we are a community that's going to help you live life on your terms and talk about real wealth with real people all the time. Thanks, everybody. Ciao for now.